we've got Charlie versus Robert. So Robert did some commentary for us earlier. I haven't heard it, but he is a smart guy, so it probably went very well. Charlie is a WizKids Open winner, so he qualified for this event before most people even began playing, probably. So, looking at their teams, we see some similarities. We see both players are using Professor X, both players using Blue Eyes White Dragon. But in terms of what they're trying to do, it's pretty different after that point. So we think about, they're also both playing Zarina, because why not play Zarina? So, and Psylocke. So, okay, I take it back. 50% of their teams are the same in terms of the characters. We also notice that Charlie is trying to use the Injection Fairy Lily Hulk combo. Very, very smart. One of the things that I like about that is it means your early fist purchases are going to turn into ramping into Hulk. Oh, so there's a lot of excitement at Table 2 right now to completely interrupt the game you're actually watching. Randy, who you saw win last round, just lost on turn 3 to Dave in the Venom shirt. Dave got the High Hopes combo off. So, as just a quick explanation, turn 1 he buys Ant-Man, does some things. Turn 2 he buys Nick Fury, does some things. Turn 3 he rolls all of his dice and attacks for 20 damage with Ant-Man. 10 damage applied twice because of patch. Really, sometimes you get lucky, and you need to play the dice and the cards that give you that possibility. But back to the game that we are currently viewing. Charlie has purchased a Zarina. He plans on using Professor X twice. Robert has purchased 2 Gabi dice. He's basically saying, I don't plan to do anything but Gabi all day, and good on him. One of the things to note too is that if you end up with a bunch of sidekicks, that's going to mean the bolts from Gabi can turn into discounts for Blue Eyes. Discounts for Blue Eyes turn into a quick Jinzo. A quick Jinzo could be pretty problematic for Charlie. He would have to change his purchase strategy. He would need to get that Millennium Puzzle. He would need to get that Psylocke. You need ways to get rid of Jinzo. Even if you Millennium Puzzle on a Jinzo, you're going to take 2 life for the privilege. Psylocke is going to be less expensive for the first removal of Jinzo, but the Millennium Puzzle, the Eternal Dungeon, is going to allow you repeatedly to deal with that Jinzo for 2 life each time. A small price to pay compared to other things I've seen. I was playing against someone yesterday, and they used Magic Missile 4 times to KO a Jinzo. The 8 life damage was a trade I was happy to make. Okay, so Charlie is motioning kind of like, ugh. Okay, so Charlie has gotten a polymorph die and feels a sidekick, his shield, mask, and a wild. So he doesn't have what he needs for Millennium Puzzle, but he can use Resurrection. So the dice he has remaining on the left side of his mat there are in the use pile. He was hoping to get a good die from Resurrection and not just a sidekick. But either way, he was able to refill the bag and have the dice remain out of play so that he can use Professor X's global on them this turn. So Robert has a great chance of getting some Gabis here. Oh, but he gets none of them. So Robert's bag right now is 2 Gabi dice, I believe. It's pretty good for next turn. It really doesn't do much for him here. He's not playing anything that's gonna manipulate the contents of his bag, and he definitely doesn't even have those dice if you're to do so. So Blue Eyes for discount KOs the. Okay, yeah, boom. There is the Jinzo die. So let's look into the future as far as Robert's plays. He's going to use Professor X's global twice during Charlie's turn, and he's going to move 4 dice from his use pile to his prep area, adding 2 dice from his reserve pool to his use pile. That will put him at 4 dice in his use pile total and 2 dice in bag. Those are Gabi dice. He's going to have the chance to roll 2 Gabi dice plus 2 of the 4 remaining dice in his use pile that are there now. So he has potential of hitting Gabi, Jinzo, and an energy. He has also the potential to go Gabi, sidekick. All things considered, rolling an extra sidekick with Gabi is not the worst. There's a risk if he hits all 3 characters that he hits character faces he has to spend energy for and can't field them all. But that's what rolling's about. So Charlie rolls. Fist. Okay. Time to punch, Charlie. He's laughing about this. Like, fists and shields have a little bit of a bad rap right now. That's going to change a lot when Justice League hits. But so spending 5. Oh, no, spend 6 for a Hulk die. That's a very big play. There is a magic missile on Robert's side of the field, so he will be able to ping the Hulk for large effect. Hulk Nova is going to get a little bit silly. So Charlie just used the polymorph basic action die to cheat the Hulk into play, and Charlie might be locking down Robert from here. Gabi is not good for Robert in this situation, and furthermore, Charlie is going to be able to blow up that Jinzo with relative ease. So Robert's mixing up his bag, and okay, there are his dice. Rolling a whole mess of dice. Oh, I guess I was incorrect about Robert's bag contents. If he only has 1 Gabi die, but Robert has a. Robert has a lot of stuff on him. So he's going to. So wait, I have to. Okay, so we just rewound the game. Robert made a bit of a mistake. He incorrectly believed that he was going to put the dice into his bag before drawing the 2 Gabi dice. That was my point of confusion, and I really like to assume that the players know better than I do because they're sitting there, they're playing the game. I can't hear everything they're doing. But in this case, there was a slight mistake. So both players are really congenial about it. No one's trying to be a rules lawyer here. Okay, so interestingly, Robert has no sidekicks to field, but Gabi's have enormous bodies at 3-3, 5-5. Even 2-2 at his lowest side is notable because it means that a single magic missile hit is not going to count. Granted, we are up against the Hulk here, and a single magic missile hit will KO both Gabis at levels 1 and 2, but it's still something that so Robert is, so he's done 2 damage via magic missile, and I think Robert's exploded his own field. Okay, so okay. So there's 2 okay, so Robert is tracking how many damage are on each character. I think he's trying to sneak his Gabi through, but I believe that Charlie's just gonna. I think Charlie's just gonna blow up his field. There's like a priority and timing concern. Okay, so Green Goblin with 2 damage is attacking on Robert's side, and Charlie doesn't appear to know what he wants to do. Yeah, so Robert incorrectly had the Gabi in his use pile when it had been KO'd instead of his prep area. So Charlie uses Professor X's Global twice, the end of Robert's main step. These guys are 2 of our most serious players here this weekend, in my opinion. We have nothing but serious players. One of the things we were talking about yesterday that's really fantastic about Dice Masters is that everyone's been so positive, friendly, outgoing, and these guys are no exception, but they are most certainly here to win. So Charlie's risk is if he blocks with the Hulk, he could get a non-character face when he rerolls the next turn, 25% chance. He could also end up having a character face that does not let him do as much damage as he'd like. But blocking is almost definitely the right move. Why expose yourself to the risk of losing the life? Charlie's going to be rolling a large number of dice next turn, even if he misses Hulk for some reason this turn. He's going to have it on the energy face, and he's going to be able to try and polymorph to switch a different character into being Hulk. Viewing polymorph as an accelerator is absolutely positively correct. Viewing polymorph as a fixer is also very, very important. So this is a lot of that's just enough dice that Charlie has to process a lot of information here. So he's, of course, going to keep a mask, best type in North America. So he's going to keep a fist, I guess. Oh, perhaps those are the ones he's rolling. Perhaps he just plants. Oh, no, okay, good. So by keeping a fist, it's a strong indicator that he wants to buy an injection fairy lily or a sorry, yeah. So Robert is excited, relieved, happy that that double fist came up for Hulk instead of a character face. Okay, so Charlie is processing. This is one of the reasons you play 2 Hulk dice, because you have the potential to get a bad roll when you have a metric ton of energy. And why not just go ahead and use those Hulk fists to make a new Hulk? Why not use those Hulk fists to go get another small character to polymorph? I don't believe this is a damaging enough roll for Charlie to break his ramp. That's pretty critical. We've noticed in some games earlier that when players are forced to break ramp, bad things happen to them. One of the possibilities, though, is that you say to yourself, I will just make my bag dense with good dice in the hopes that I can make the most of any given thing that I pull out. I think that that doesn't always work, and I don't believe that's what Charlie would go for as a result. He just he seems to be shrugging as if, oh yeah, there's one play that makes sense, buying my other Hulk die. So yeah, he's gonna polymorph the sidekick into a Hulk. Absolutely fantastic. This is why you play 2 Hulk dice. I saw someone yesterday playing 5 Hulk dice because it is one of the few max 5 cards. So he's passing priority at the end of his main step. Robert is just going to let him do that. Robert, I think, did something risky there. I would have considered using the Professor Global once, and that way it could distract one character, because you're not going to distract Black Widow. You might consider distracting Hulk. But Robert probably was just willing to take the hit if it meant getting the Hulk out of his hair for a little bit. Polymorphing a Hulk into play is going to be a lot more difficult for Charlie at this point, because he doesn't have a Hulk die to buy to try and flip a sidekick into it. Shaking and rolling. Okay. So Jinzo is live. Charlie has only 2 energy though, so he's not going to take a huge life punishment right up front over this. Robert is at 15, so he can definitely make up that difference via Jinzo. So sidekick number 1 gets fielded. Gabi gets fielded for free, deals a point to Charlie. Charlie's at 19 now, and look, so Hulk's effect goes off, and it triggers and it KOs both of Robert's characters. Now Robert's going to field Jinzo. Spends a shield to field Jinzo. So you'll notice that not only did he spend the shield, he spent the shield off of a sidekick, which is better than spending the bolt off of Gabi, because he's one more die that he's going to get to use Press X's Global on. Robert is looking to buy something for 4, if you notice how he's ranged his dice, probably. Oh, maybe 2 and 2. Buying a Psylocke. He is going to deal with that Hulk. Quan the Assassin is absolutely out for Hulk and absolutely out for the strong, while active abilities of characters like Jinzo. So Robert's decided no, he doesn't want a Psylocke. He's going to do something different. I think Psylocke's a very strong play, so I'm curious to see what he comes up with instead. A lot of the times, under the pressure, players second-guess themselves and end up making the identical move anyway. Let's see if that happens here. Okay, bolt for Iceman. Robert's breaking ramp. I don't know what he has planned. Robert's shaking his head. They're calling the judge over there. So the question is, so the clarification is that if you try and Magic Missile Hulk to death, he goes crazy. He's gonna deal 2 damage for each and every bolt you spend. So Charlie is generously leaving. Okay, so Robert basically breaks ramp by Psylocke. Charlie let him walk that back, which is very generous. I can't imagine players gonna let things like that happen in the top 8. So Charlie maintains his ramp for 4 life, and he's down to 15. And his bag is gonna be chock full of stuff here. Big, huge, enormous benefit of Charlie having the Hulk on a burst phase is that he's only going to need to use it twice to KO Jinzo. So he's going to pay 4 life to, in the short term, eliminate his problem. But Robert's gonna get to reroll Jinzo, and Robert's gonna get a Psylocke. But Robert's ramp is blown here. He's going to get to roll Gabi, a sidekick, and then, if he's lucky, 2 more sidekicks, Gabi and Psylocke. Strongly wonder whether or not Black Widow will be as prevalent in a DC format, because Constantine is so good. Maybe just play them both, because you've got 8 spots. The legion of 2-cost characters is really almost complete. We've got an aggressive character in Psylocke. We've got an aggressive character in Black Widow. We've got a tough-to-deny control card in Constantine. Bolts are waiting for their turn. So, you can play Ghost Rider for now. you could play Human Torch. I spoke about him earlier. It With the prevalence of Human Torch in the AVX metagame, it's almost bizarre to not see him around here. But getting to the 6-cost Hulk, who's such a fantastic solution to the Torch, is easier than ever. Okay, Charlie is working through this problem, this puzzle, eternal dungeon, if you would. It's tough to imagine that he doesn't deal his Hulk 2 damage. Okay, so he pays 2 to field Hulk. I think that Charlie's gonna. I think Charlie must have enough to cruise for game. Gonna Magic Missile twice. Charlie takes 4. Charlie's at 12. Jinzo is KO'd. And how I spoke about that future scenario where Robert got to Psylocke, I don't think that happens. I think Robert gets hit for lethal damage this turn when Charlie attacks. Hulk is a minimum of 6 attack. Oh, okay. So Robert spends 3 bolts to KO Zarina and the sidekick. Okay, so now Charlie no longer has lethal. That was a very, very important play by Robert that many players would have missed. Many players would have just seen that there was lethal damage on the board. They couldn't use distraction, but Robert was the player to bring Magic Missile. So he was highly aware of when he would need to use it, no doubt. That explains his Iceman play the previous turn to a large extent. So Charlie still chooses to attack with a Hulk die. I agree. Because he knows that it's just a good die to have in circulation. To reroll that Hulk, to get the damage, is something you must do. And so ooh boy, this is a huge turn for Robert. I believe Robert can win with the right roll. I believe he just needs enough energy, enough damage. So I think Robert might have to do some re-rolling. But then again, he could just go cruise control and try and push everybody through. There is very important. There is not a Relentless in the mix. Relentless or Swords of Revealing Light would allow Robert to make that Hulk unable to block, and he'd be able to push for game. Psylocke is going to be a similar effect, but much less explosive, much less quick, and it'll be a larger investment, but a bigger reward. In the situation where that reward is a single effect on the turn that you're going to win, it doesn't entirely matter. Okay, so... And the reroll is only the sidekick, because okay. So he's got a wild. Okay, so spends 1 for Psylocke. Wow, yep, that's... So he spends for Psylocke's ability. KO's Hulk. Now, he doesn't have the energy to field all of his other characters. He's going to spend 1 for Jinzo. And it's undeniably the way to go. So he leaves Psylocke. Oh no, he attacks he passed priority, and then so he attacks with Psylocke. Charlie is at 10. Or sorry, 9. Charlie's at 9. This could be it. Charlie just has enough dice in the mix, and that Hulk is gonna give him a big explosion. So Iceman is really insulating Charlie here from a problem, which is he might miss the energy he needs and get too many sidekicks. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So he's going to keep that generic energy. He's going to keep those wilds. He's going to probably keep that bolt. And he might reroll the shield, but he might just do the math and realize that it's over. I'm confused why he rerolled that generic energy. That just seems like a huge risk. I'll have to remember to talk to him about that later. So he fills Black Widow for free. So, next up is how does he want to put the Hulk into play? Spends a mask for it. Okay. It seems like Charlie's gonna take some ping damage. Missile twice. So, interesting thing to note here is, okay, there, yeah, attack for game with Hulk and Zarina. Yeah, that that was a big turn. It was really anybody's game up until the end. Wow, just wow. There was that end scenario where Robert could have re-rolled the Jinzo to try and get energy to try and field his Gobbies with, but I don't believe I didn't see what faces the Gobbies were on. I don't think it would have been enough damage. I'm gonna find out from Charlie when I get him over here. Really strong game between two strong players. Everybody's still in contention here. Even the players who are 0-2 could go 3-2, and with a good strength of schedule could make the top 8. But you know, the worst of these two players is Robert at 1-1. He beat Troopy Turner round 1 with the player we saw utilizing Kobolds. So Charlie is playing purely in the moment from the sounds of things and doesn't remember what happened.
Gears are treated as continuous, right? So if something dies, they would follow it also. Right?
Yeah.
So
Okay, so players are verifying the match results on their team sheets right now. Always nice to have different colored pens so they can remember whose is which. Okay. Yeah, so very good chance both of these players make the top 8, but you're looking at the very best players here, folks. Okay, so Charlie is joining me now. So congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Okay, so I could not see some of the dice faces clearly enough. On that, I'm very curious about Robert's last turn. Did he have what level were those Gobbies that he had?
2 and 3.
Okay, so if he had re-rolled the Jinzo to be energy,
Yes.
he could have, right? Okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, that was...
I believe if he missed the mask, he would have been much worse off without the Jinzo.
Right.
So yeah, it's tough to plan for exactly what scenario you're going to need.
Yeah, so I don't know if on the offense that I would have seen to re-roll the Jinzo. I think that's easier to see on the defense.
I agree. that
Because it's when you're worried about your life, you're immediately like, oh, that's what kills me.
Yeah, makes complete sense.
And actually, somebody was saying, and I don't know because I don't remember the board state. Somebody was saying that I missed lethal the turn before that, and I don't know.
I was pretty sure you had it, but then he made a play that prevented it.
Right. Like I could never figure out.
There was the magic missile play on his part.
Right. The magic missile on the Serena.
You would have had lethal had he not done that.
Right.
Yeah. No, but that was a really good play on his part.
I kind of think I should have re-rolled the Serena for their bigger one, but if I got fists, then I'm in a worse position. So.
No, agreed. Like have him. The bolts might be a dead resource for him if you don't have the Serena, though. But at the same time, him spending 2 energy to give you a die to roll next turn is not that bad for you either.
Right, especially at that point when I was doing everything I could to not take damage from Jinzo.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're giving your opponent the opportunity to make an error and miss the magic missile play is also not the worst thing in the world. Like, you're going to get some people some of the time, and it's a marginal difference for your board state.
Right.
So yeah, Millennium Puzzle. We've been talking about Millennium Puzzle a lot today because I'm really excited about it, but it didn't come into play in that game.
So yeah, we talked about that after the match. I just didn't know the right place and tempo to get it versus the Hulk since he was throwing gobbies at me.
Yeah, I agree. I was saying that the fact you're playing 2 Hulk dice is actually super important because you get that bad situation where you roll the 2 fists. What do I do with these? I could buy another Hulk to polymorph,
right.
or I could go for a smaller fist character to polymorph.
Buying the second Hulk to polymorph in was probably the hardest decision I made all game.
Yeah, I think it was absolutely correct, though. I was like, I hope this is what he goes for, because if not, that means it probably actually means you saw something I didn't, and I'm not as good as I think I am. But yeah, it was a super strong play, no doubt. You didn't get to use Injection Fairly.
That hurt.
It hurt that you didn't get to. So I haven't seen anyone use it yet, but I've seen it on teams. So I'm not sure if I should think ill of it because people are not going for it.
So I will harken back to our conversation yesterday.
Okay.
You asked me why I was running that team, and I was like, well, I don't think this team's very efficient, but I think it's good enough to qualify. And
okay, but today should be a different
so
story.
Today, right. So today is where I made the opposite decision, which is I would prefer consistency over big splash.
Okay, so
yesterday
choose
I could
consistency.
lose 2 and it's okay.
Yeah.
Today I'd rather be consistent and maybe make the game go 3 more turns to get the KO. And that's where I think a figure somebody that can deal 7 damage and is 0-0-1 to field is huge.
Yeah, absolutely. I tend to not think about the attack power on characters because I feel like they're either super explosive that someone kills somebody in one shot, or you have that wearing someone down with Gabi and Zarina that is a totally different play experience. But no, a pure attack value absolutely matters. So we've got the pairings for the next round, and I'm going to make sure those team sheets get over to our people so you can have the cards on camera.
Yeah,
but it's great talking to you, Charlie.
Again, but,
cool. Well, good luck.
The one thing I would like to throw out is I want to give David Walsh 100% of the credit on that injection fairy, because that was something we talked about last night, and he gave me.
Yeah, good friend, David Walsh, everybody. Okay, so we're probably going to watch another one of Charlie's games.